Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow from SG TCG, bringing you guys another round from Carrot Locals from last week. No, I've been slacking on these uploads, but a lot of store regionals has been happening, so I've been trying to get a lot of play testing in. So, right back onto the commentary. I ended up losing dice roll, so he chose to go second. Opens up with a Kareha, ends up finding the OP8 chopper that on play or when he attacks can search up to another animal with the cost of 3 or less. Comes in rested. So he swings 6 at life. He ends up using the counter event, shut up and come with me. Finding the hiking bear comes out active. I play this as Shillin. Only reason why I play this as Shillin is so that I can use my carrot ability to rest any one of his characters. And I basically set this up for next turn because I know he's gonna play out the chopper. So he's gonna swing 6 at life. I take it. I have carrot already, so I know I'm gonna just keep this chopper stunned for a majority of this game at this point. So he ends up finding the Alabasta chopper, plays out, can play out up to a 3k animal from his hand, but he does not have one, so he whiffs. So I use my leader ability to rest a chopper, play 5, and I'm going to play out character carrot to stun the chopper so that next turn he cannot utilize, the ability to continuously flood the board. I'm trying to keep him, under control, and I swing 5 at the other chopper. He counters out with a 2k, so he's trying to keep his board so he can continue to go wide at me, which is the correct thing to do. Obviously, that's what Zoro wants to do. So he attaches a Don to his leader. His leader gets the buff. Swings 5 with the Alabasta chopper. I give him a 2k. Oh no, he gave the other chopper a 1k off his hiking bear. So he swung for 6. I gave him a 2k. I took his leader swing, and then I took a counter out of his last swing with Pedro. And then he ends his turn by playing another chopper. So at this point, if I can't keep him under control, he could just continuously flood the board like crazy. The only benefit that it is for me is he has the potential of whiffing all his like rush cards, his dragons, Zoros, and kid killers to the bottom of the deck. So you're about to see some of the gnarliest stuff, the best things that Carrot can do. So I use my leader ability to rest that chopper that just came into play. So currently his entire field is rested. I have 7 Don. I end up swinging 5 at that chopper to get rid of it. Lets it go. I'm keeping the Don separate because I do have a Dog Viper, which on play can rest up to 2 5-cost characters. So I would be able to stun 3 of his characters on the field because they are all 3 cost and less right now. And I still have 1 more carrot, but I'm trying to solidify it by holding onto the carrot for later. Later in the game. So I swing 6 at the chopper, and I think he gives me a 2k and a 1k. He's trying to keep his board to go wide next turn. And I swing 7 at the hiking bear. I stun the chopper, and then I play the dog viper, and I stun the other 2 choppers that he has on the field. Now 3 characters on the field on my opponent's board that he cannot utilize this next turn, all stunned. Crazy. So all Zoro wants to do is go wide and just swing out at me. And I think he's got only 2 cards in hand currently because he's been dumping cards to keep his board alive, which can be beneficial. But the only downside is I'm stunning the board. He's unable to play it. So he swings 9 at the carrot, and I considered saving it, but I knew he was going to play out a rush card. And then he swings a 7 at my Shishilin, and I let it go. Not worth saving. So I have Dog Viper, which is a 6k stat line. 1 Don, I could remove his Zoro because he only has 1 card in hand. Again, I still do have a carrot in hand as well. So here I'm trying to anticipate how exactly to go about it. I can't let these OP8 choppers stick on the board because, again, if they restand at any point, he can just search and play out these animals. So I play the carrot, and then I stun one of the OP8 choppers. And then I'm going to swing 7 at the other one so he could clear it off the field so that he can't search. And then I'm going to swing 8 at the Zoro to make sure it clears, and then I pass the turn. Now he only has the OP4 chopper, the 4k stat line. pretty much since this OP8 chopper has hit the field, he's been unable to use it, which is, you know, perfect. Carrot can do some crazy ass stuff when you see all the pieces that you need, which is mainly the carrots. And as long as you have a mink to use your leader ability, you're golden. But this is all early game, obviously. Once you start going late game with some of your, your opponent's other decks like Bonnie and stuff, you know, Carrot can only reach up to a 7. So that's why I also have like the Bonnies and the Doflamingos for when it goes to those later game states. So he ends up clearing my Dog Viper with, you know, the Kid Killer and just a full-on onslaught with what he had on the field. And then there I counter out of I counter out of his Kid Killer swing. He swung for 7, so I give him a 0-cost event and I think a Hody Jones. The other one left with either his leader swing or the chopper swing. So I only swung 6 at the Kid Killer, and I stunned his OP8 chopper just because I was trying to bait out the counter that he had in hand, which is exactly what he had. And I just play a Dofi, stun his board, pass the turn. He just plays an EB01 chopper, passes it right back to me. Since I have the carrot, I can rest the blocker chopper, which is what I do. And I continue to put pressure on his field. As you see, I have yet to swing at his leader. And the reason for this is because, one, I don't want him to find any other type of cards to utilize on me, basically his rush cards. But now, as you see, he's dumped his entire hand protecting his field. So now I'm going to go for his life. I pass a turn after playing the Rosinante. I don't play out of character because I don't have a 5-cost in hand. If I did, I definitely would have stunned a one Don, but you know, he doesn't really need it. It's really just so I could play out another body. Because at this point, I know he's going to go for carrot, which is exactly what he does. I think I have the counter to save the carrot, but I opt to not because I figured there's a chance that he could play a rush card, and he ends up doing a Nami that could find him a rush Zoro. So if I would have saved the carrot, it could have, no, it wouldn't have stuck. See, he's got a rush Zoro. So the rush Zoro was gone no matter what. So I take the life, and I end up not triggering it. It was an electric Luna that would have allowed me to rest a character, which would have been the Nami. And you see, I try using leader ability, and I forget that I don't have a Minx card, so I can't activate my leader ability. So I'm gonna end up playing Milky for 2 Don, and the only reason why I play this is so I can use my leader ability and then play Electric Luna to stun my opponent's whole field. Just because everything is 7 cost and under 7 cost. So I end up using 3 Electric Luna, stun his entire field. So now I don't gotta worry about his field. Now I'm just gonna go swinging directly at life. I have 2 life left, so I'm not too worried, and still some counter in hand. So I swing 7 at his life. I'm gonna attach, I think, 2 more. Swing 9, or I attach 1 to Rosinante, swing 9, and then 12 with Dofi. Took 3 hits that turn. Just down to 1 life. At this point, all he has is his leader and any type of rush card that he has that he just pulled. So gave him a lot of options. He ends up playing the OP8 chopper. He's going fishing. But at this point of the game, you know, the blocker chopper is not going to do much since it does come in rested. But, you know, it's just better for me because now I know he won't be able to have that as far as counter. So he plays the Nami, grabs another Rad Beam. So at this point, we know that he has 2 Rad Beams in hand. Not sure what the rest of the other cards are that he has for counter. So we just got to make sure we have our field to stay alive, which he's going to end up swinging big at one of these. I think the Rosinante is what he's going to go for. So he swings 9. I give him 1 2K. Passes over to me. And then here, I think I'm going to start the turn by attaching a Don on the Dofi, just so that it's 11, which is going to force him to have to use either both Rad Beams or Rad Beam and multiple cards out of hand. So I ended up swinging that way because I knew he had the 2 Rad Beams, just so that I know I could swing smaller with the rest of the field. But at this point, I am going to go for lethal to close out the game here. So you're going to see in a second, I'm going to end up attaching 3 Don onto the Rosinante first. And I do this just so I could bait out the Rad Beams like I was just saying. He ends up giving me a Rad Beam and 3 cards out of hand. After that, I just attach 4 Don on the leader. Swing, he takes it, and I just go for game with Dofi. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.